game time. Game time. Game time. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. It's game time. Game time.
Really need somebody to check if May Grant, since he knows where it is. I need to know if we have salsa.
That is very important.
What?
I said that is
very important.
Yes, we have
It
salsa.
is. I
We-
don't want to get all the way home.
Yes, we have
No.
salsa. I'm joking.
No, it is. We were being serious. That is important. Like, we stopped recording to answer your call because we respect you.
I knew, and I knew that, so I was trying to get you to stop recording. Okay, alright. I'm so glad I called in.
We are
Go
too.
get some.
All right.
All right. Hey, will you text Matthew before you come in the door so you don't interrupt us mid podcast?
Yes.
Hello. Welcome to Game Time Greatness, Season 10, podcast episode number 4. I'm Matthew Usry. I have no title, and
I'm Grant. I'm GG8 champ and podcast editor. So,
all right. So we're just gonna jump straight into the Week 4 recap.
all right, for week 4, Brandon versus Grant. Unfortunately, Brandon won. I thought I had a sliver of hope,
You hate to see it.
thanks to the goggled Rodrigo Blankenship. But unfortunately, Allen Robinson decided to be the garbage man and totally crushed my dreams. So,
Grant is still missing Saquon and will be
Yeah.
for the rest of season.
RIP. Saquon forever.
Wakanda forever!
Next was Mike versus CC. This was
Down to the wire.
It was a close matchup, one of the closest of the week. Mike pulled it out though, so he got his first win of the season with 124.68 points to 120. Sorry,
So,
CC.
officially, welcome back to the league, Mike.
That's right, first win since you've been back. I'm sure it feels great. Matthew versus Jarvis. We had not that close of a matchup. It was 142 to 114 in favor of Matthew.
Without
so,
Joe Mixon, it would have been because
Yeah.
Joe Mixon popped for 40 plus points. So
your Mahomes didn't come out this time, so sorry.
yeah,
And then our closest matchup of the week was Jake versus Ethan with an astonishing 82 total points. That's, I want to say one of the lowest, but the stats are ruined because Zach had posted a 0 in 2018. So
he was in playoffs on a bye week and benched all his players.
So thanks for ruining the record book.
low of all time in GG's record book is 0 points. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. I hope you get better.
You
though,
made
for
that
real.
stat so fun. Not really.
But anyway, so with an 82 points, got to play against the
Hottest team, I would
molten
say.
hot team. Ethan with 199.52, just barely missing the 200-point club.
Ethan, mid-season team name change, right?
Yeah, and that margin of victory with 117 points is actually pretty close to the record. All-time Klondike versus Far From Home, or what was it?
Yeah, Far From Home or something. Who cares about that, honestly? That was before the modern era,
Yeah.
so I would say, I don't know, GG 1, 2, 3 don't really matter to
But
me.
that was
Sorry, Holmes and Brandon.
Yeah, sorry. That was 135 points. So pretty significant blowout. Sorry, Jake. It should look better for you, but it's not right now. So
I would say things are looking up, but Nick Chubb just went to IR, so...
Yeah. And then Zach versus Noah. This was a close matchup, and I'm sure Noah is
Steaming.
fuming. Yeah. 172 to 170, and Devontae and Julio just continue to let you down in the zero RB strategy. So
Man, everyone who looked down on me for taking Mixon when Devontae and Julio were right there, and then Noah took both of them, everyone was just so mad at me for that. They didn't say that, but I could see it in everyone's face and their eyes, and they were mad. But you know what? For the first 4 weeks, I'd say it's worked out all right, even though Joe Mixon only showed up in 1 week.
definitely.
But
And then our last matchup was Colin Holmes versus Cole Bennett. And Colin Holmes, you did it pretty significantly too. 174 to 137. Cole, it's just not looking great, man. But OBJ, Holmes.
OBJ popped.
I beat you with him in Dynasty, so it's all good. But yeah, so that's the matchups for week 4.
Now we're going to get into our quick stat of the week, courtesy of Ethan Wright. He's poking fun at his most recent opponent and victim, Jake. Jake has narrowly missed setting 2 all-time records in GG this year. In week 2, he had 14 touchdowns, which just misses the mark by 1. The record all-time is 15 touchdowns. So that's pretty cool. But this week, he only scored 1 touchdown, which narrowly misses the mark of 0, which is the record low. Sorry, Jake.
It's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, the hills and valleys of fantasy football.
Yeah, we love to see it. Yeah.
All right, now we're going to get into what I asked you all to send me this week, and only one of you did not. But to be fair, I didn't give him more than a day. But whatever. We'll get to that. So, fantasy pet peeves. All right? And I'm going to read out what everyone sent to me and have Grant guess who sent what. But first, we'll go with Grancy.
With fantasy football.
Grant's fantasy football pet peeves. Okay, go ahead.
My first fantasy football pet peeve is the ridiculous power that kickers and defenses have in our league. It's not just our league, it's most leagues that play with the kicker and defense, but we've seen a trend of removing them from the league, which I think there's a place for kickers and defenses, and I just think that they should score at least half as many points as they do. Even though that worked out in my favor this week, I mean, I lost, but I got 14 points from my kicker, which I think is a little excessive. So that's one of my biggest pet peeves. My other pet peeve is using outdated and lackluster fantasy platforms like Yahoo. All right, my next pet peeve is season-long injuries. This one's kind of fresh because Saquon, but it goes for everybody. And this is a weird year, but when your star player gets injured and you got almost nobody to go and fill those holes, it just sucks.
Yeah, season-long injuries suck. Nobody likes to see a good player get hurt and miss the year and miss a year of their prime, and it's just no fun for anybody. Even as a competitor, obviously I benefited from playing Grant when he didn't have Saquon, but it is disappointing to see that.
Yeah.
And season-long holdouts, I'm looking at you, Le'Veon Bell, I hate you. Okay, so my first pet peeve is if you say full PPR. Okay, you can say half PPR because that makes sense. But if you say full PPR, it's being redundant. It's so stupid. So it's already implied that it's a full point when you just say PPR. It's PPR, not full PPR, okay? So anyone who says that is dumb. My next is very similar. Is if you say modified 0 RB, that's not 0 RB, just call it something else. It's not modified 0 RB, all right? 0 RB is already a strategy I don't like, but if you say modified 0 RB and take an RB in the first round, that's not 0 RB, it's not even close, because that's your best player. Should be. But just don't say that. It's also dumb. And another pet peeve of mine is when somebody's like, hey, I want to trade with you. Offer me something. If you do that, you're trash. Okay. And then my last pet peeve is specific to a certain person. It's when Noah specifically uses the whole timer to draft his player. He does it on purpose because he knows that none of us like it, and he knows what player he's taking. He took the full 2 minutes to draft Devontae Adams, and then the full 2 minutes to draft Julio Jones. You sitting at that 11 spot while Noah was in 12 was just so frustrating because I just have to I should be drafting within 2 minutes of each other, but no, I'm waiting 5 minutes to make my draft picks.
But at least you get more time to You got more time.
I knew exactly who I was taking.
Yeah, still. Inexcusable.
Yeah. Noah, you
Shame.
trash. Okay, now on to some answers from you guys. I'm just gonna have Grant try to guess.
Okay.
All right. My biggest pet peeve is with how the IR system works. Lindsay was out multiple weeks from the get-go, but every week they list him as questionable, which prohibits me from making any roster moves because it says I have an illegal player in the IR position. It has made me miss out on Miles Gaskin and Robert Tonyan so far. Another pet peeve is when you see people not use their IRs ever. I'm happy about it, but I'm like, you're stupid. You know what
That sounds like Brandon.
That's
gotta be
is
Brandon.
definitely Brandon.
Yeah.
The Philip Lindsay might have given
I
it
think
away,
that's what
but-
gave him away, but I was thinking, does he have him in Dynasty? But
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, the Robert Tonyan too. Like, of course he would want him.
Yes, exactly. All right, this one is much shorter.
Okay.
See if you can guess who this is. Monday night losses.
Is that CC?
That is CC. Ding, 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 ding. 2 for 2.
Darren Waller. I am the Walrus.
Yes.
Coming in clutch on Monday with like 30 points, right?
All
That's
right.
my only win now, so.
This one, I don't think you'll be able to guess who sent this, but because it's just kind of random.
All right.
But I mean, this is a pet peeve. It says, my pet peeve is that trades in our league are non-existent. This is a stab in the dark, I would say.
Yeah. If this was like the question that was like towards the end, it would be a lot easier, but.
Well, sorry.
See, I don't. I don't have Brandon or CC to go from.
Or me or you.
Yeah.
You got 1 and 8.
Let's.
1 and 7.
I'm gonna just try to eliminate some. So I don't think that's Ethan. Ethan likes to trade. Well, maybe I don't know. It's definitely not Noah. Is it Jake, Holmes, Jarvis, or Cole? I don't think it's Cole either. I think that was Jake.
Wrongo.
Dang
It was Holmes.
Oh, that was my other guess.
And to that I say,
Yeah.
Holmes, offer some trades then.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean,
need some help.
I don't necessarily like it either. But
I think you don't
I mean,
see trades.
offer some trades.
People don't want to
if that's
trade
your pet,
with you.
if that's your pet peeve, offer some
Yeah.
trades.
Yeah.
All right, but I agree. Okay,
Yeah.
the next one. This is a long one, and it is against multiple people.
Okay.
All right. It irritates me that Ethan always acts like he's great in fantasy, even though he hasn't made playoffs since he was a fighting farmer at Farmersville High School. It irritates me that Holmes holds on to the one trophy he won back in 2009 and always refers to it, back when the trophy was theoretical. It's annoying that Brandon always talks about how everyone else's team is so good, and they won't look at how good his team is, and how he is making moves on the sly. I think there should be a 5-year playoff drought equals 1 year timeout from the league. Ethan and Jarvis.
I think that's Noah.
Yes.
That was pretty easy, I think.
Definitely Noah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it.
Okay, next. It annoys me when Grant chirps about sleeper. Tee-hee. When players leave healthy players on IR and have an extra bench spot for an intended period of time. But I will admit, I've done the IR thing once this year. It says if you can't beat them, join them.
That's either Ethan or Zach.
No, it's Jake.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Jake. Team Yahoo, huh?
When Grant
I
chirps
see.
about sleeper, hee.
Yeah, he should have given it away.
All right. I hate exactly what I do every week, which is attempt to reverse jinx my team into winning.
Zach.
Smiley face. It's annoying, but it works and makes me feel better. But when other people do it, yes, it was Zach.
Knew it.
Yeah, that was me trying to copy the emojis he used.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, next. Hee hee. The fact that Jack got the boot, but Mike hasn't proved himself any better than last place. Similar to Jack. This was a joke answer, obviously.
Is that Jackson?
That is Jackson Jarvis.
Nice.
Good job.
Nice.
All right. Next. I don't have a pet peeve because I love and respect all GG members equally. Well, except Cole Bennett when he says the word honeys. Specifically, y'all trying to get some honeys? Don't y'all hate that fantasy football pet peeve?
See, is that Ethan?
No.
Mike?
That's Mike.
Did I
All
guess
right.
Ethan?
You've guessed Ethan for a couple of them,
Yeah,
but we
but
haven't
gotten
done his yet.
All right. If you want.
Okay. Next. When someone goes 0 RB, then complains that everyone took all the RBs. When someone proposes a trade and leads with talking trash about the player they're trying to get. They suck, give them to me. When someone leaves their team name from the previous year or puts, in parentheses, TBD in the title. When someone wears a hockey jersey to the draft. When someone doesn't know the league format. Is this PPR?
That's Ethan.
That is Ethan.
Yeah.
And he's violated like 4 of those.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
I mean,
he's the 0 RB guy,
yep.
and he definitely complains. So he probably complained that he didn't have an RB at some point. He was asking me about Jerick McKinnon today, and then told me, Raheem Mostert's coming back. All right,
Oh, Ethan.
All right, Ethan. And you still have your logo from last year, so. Or
Well,
no, you don't.
He
changed
updated it,
but
but
you
it took
did,
him
and
like
that was lame.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it took you
So,
long enough.
Come on, violating Rule 6.
All right, so that was Ethan. And then last is Cole, and he did not send one in time, even though he texted me back after I sent him the question and said, that's hilarious, let me think. Well, he's still thinking. So
Well, we're going to come up with his hilarious
we came up with some for him.
answer. So I think Cole's biggest pet peeve was getting his brother kicked out of the league because he accepted a trade in which a team that had no shot was just giving players to a team that was really good.
I would say his pet
He's on the
peeve is
trophy
not
board.
being able to have 2 rosters to pick from.
That's true.
All right, let's move on.
That's hilarious, Cole.
Yeah, good one, Cole.
All right, and lastly, we're going to do the Week 5 matchups. So let's start out with me versus Mike, the battle for last place. I'm at 11 and Mike's in 12. I am taking myself, obviously, I'm not going to pick against me. I do think I have a good shot, especially if Michael Thomas doesn't play, but I think he's trending in the direction of playing. So hopefully he pulls a Julio Jones and comes in and gets hurt and leaves. So that'd be great for me.
We don't wish injury on any player.
No. Yeah. But yeah, so I picked me.
I picked Grant as well. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
But I think Grant's team is pretty good. So, just unlucky
It's not
so
come to
far.
fruition, yeah.
But I like Terry McLaurin, but I don't know. There's players on Grant's team that I like and think are going to do well. And who knows? Okay, what's next?
All right, next we got Holmes versus Brandon. This is a good matchup, I think. I'm picking Holmes though, and that's nothing against Brandon, but we're got our first real bye week, I guess we can say, even though the Titans and Steelers didn't play. But no Packers, no Aaron Jones for Brandon. I think that's gonna really make a difference unless you get some magic from Clyde or something like that. But I'm gonna take Holmes. He's got a full roster and he's heating up. So
I like Holmes' team this week. I think his 3 starting receivers are going to pop. Well, maybe not Odell, but he popped last week, and so he's feeling it. But DK Metcalf and then Darius Slayton against the Cowboys. And anyone, if you don't start your
Have
players
40
when they
points.
play against Dallas, then what are you even doing?
yeah,
So I don't know. I like Holmes' players, so I'm going to say Holmes this week.
cool. So far, we've been all the same, but for the next matchup is Matthew versus CC, and I'm taking Matthew, mostly because CC, you're having a tough year. I get it. I'm with you down here in the bottom of the barrel, but losing Austin Eckler is just even worse. That is a huge blow for you. Hopefully he comes back soon, but until then, it's going to be
I will say he lost Eckler, but he also gained a full-time role with Kareem Hunt. So,
But Kareem Hunt's already been, in my opinion, like as good as he's going to get, but maybe he gets that extra
I don't
boost.
know.
but
I don't know. We'll see.
He
I
was
think,
also hurt. So.
yeah, I think CC's team is going to do pretty well, and I'm a little nervous. But I do also think that I'm going to win because I'm confident.
Yeah.
So we agree.
All right, and then our next matchup is Jake versus Cole. I'm taking Jake. Jake, you lost Chubb. That's your train is come to a screeching halt, unfortunately, for the Chubba Chubba Choo Choos. But Cole is also not having a great year. No Galladay for bye weeks this week is going to be huge. One of your only producing players. Russ too, but we'll see. I'm going to give that edge to Jake though.
Yeah, I'm a little torn on this one, but I think Jake has the edge in this one as well. I don't really have much analysis, but I just have a feeling.
Yeah. All right, our next matchup is
Galladay really hurts.
Yeah, it does. It's probably the primetime matchup of the league this year. It's going to be Zach and Jarvis. It's definitely the closest matchup in my opinion. I think the projections have it that way as well. But Zach, you're heating up, and so I'm going to take you. Don't let me down. Getting over Rona. So
I'm going to take Jarvis this week. I just think after last week, his guys were just a little scared of my guys, I guess, because they didn't really show up. Yeah. But I think this week they're not scared of Zach in his hockey jersey. And so I think he's got it. N'Keal Harry, I would worry about, but Josh Jacobs is due for a good week.
Especially with no Cam, if Cam doesn't play.
I would hope that Noah Fant plays for you, but did you drop Gronk or do you still have him?
Gronk is not on his roster.
No, it's not. Okay, well, anyway, Noah Fant might be hurt this week, so you might want to look into that. But I don't know. I like McVay is going to go back to Daryl Henderson.
Darnell Henderson.
Yeah, however he says it. He's going to go back to him this week after not using him last week because that's the way McVay works. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to take Jarvis in this one.
Yeah. And then our last matchup of the week is Ethan versus Noah, the heated rivalry. Unfortunately, Noah's team is just plagued with injury. He put up a bunch of points last week. I don't think that's going to happen again. And Ethan, as much as I hate to say it, your team is probably going to consistently put up 170 plus points.
But don't worry, during the first quarter when his players don't have any catches, he's going to complain that his team sucks. Yeah. That's a pet peeve of mine. That's not a fantasy pet peeve, that's an Ethan pet peeve. All right.
Also, it's really frustrating to see that you have CMC coming back in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You're just chilling, CMC and chilling, so.
I'm going to, hot take, I'm going to say Noah wins this week.
I hope so.
Me too, and I never cheer for Noah.
Yeah,
but
no one does.
Yeah.
Always the underdog. So yeah.
Let's see, I think, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it for the podcast this week.
Grant, you're lucky that I didn't lose control of this Wiimote without the wrist strap.
They put the warning on there for a reason.
Yes.
Always secure the wrist strap on the Wiimotes.
All right, so we'll see you all next time.
Don't forget
Good luck me this week. I just niced myself.
Nice. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Oh, really quick. How many defensive comments are we going to get from Ethan before he finishes watching the podcast? I'm going to say the over-under is like 5.5.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say 4, but yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it.
All right. See ya.